one of my favorite quad exercises of all time, the Tru Squat. All right guys, the Tru Squat. I love it, and for two reasons. One, it's a very unique bodybuilding piece that I realize I'm really fortunate to have here to lead. You know, Dwayne does a great job of picking equipment here that's hand selected for bodybuilders. And the second reason why it's nostalgic to me is I got to use this with John years ago at Elite, and oh man, it brings back like such good fun memories for me. And it's something that I always know I want to get back to, because I sadly didn't get a video of it. I hit 3 plates and a quarter for a solid 8. And God, it was one of the best leg sets of my life. But that was back when I was squatting heavy. So you'll see me do this 2, 3, 3 and a band, meaning quarters, not plates. So eventually I'm gonna get back to there. But back to the premise of this video, the Tru Squat, why I love it. So this is such a quad dominant squat. And not only are you back supported, so you have little to no risk for a back injury, but it locks you in stone and it forces you to really sit down in the hole and then use nothing but quad to get out of it. So I've been digging banding it lately. I've been doing it with a newbie. Chaz and I have been doing it just regular standalone when we're just doing regular training sessions. And I believe it's giving a new dimension to my quad, specifically my sweep and my VMO. So I'm gonna keep pounding it, but let me get inside this piece and kind of talk through like what it feels like, where to set your feet up, so that if you do have one or you're ever at a gym that does have one, you aren't scared to use it, because there is a little bit of a learning curve of doing it, but I can tell you this, it's gonna feel crazy heavy compared to what you think, and then two, it's gonna feel kind of awkward at first, and I'm gonna talk you through why. Sadly, this thing's tucked in the corner, so it's gonna be hard to see, but there's a little bolt right here, and then a knob that I pull out towards me, and then I'm gonna raise this back rest. You see how that falls down? Now I just need to raise it up to my height. So if you're standing beside this piece, I'm gonna raise it right above my shoulders, so that it doesn't take a lot of like squatting down to find the safety catch. So step one of this is just adjusting the safety catch so that you can rack it, unrack it the easiest. Next up, the seat belt. You don't have to use this if you don't want to. I personally like it because it really forces my lower back to stay driven into this pad. So again, just give you some tension, and then I like to go all the way tight with it right around my waist. So just raise that up, it's on a slide. Pull your shirt up so it doesn't feel like it's gonna rip it off your neck. And then from here, all we're gonna do is simply push my feet back into a starting position. So instinctually, I know it's hard to see because I have black shoes on, but this is gonna feel what is right, but it's wrong. So when you unrack this, you're gonna say, hey Chris, this is where I need to be. No, you need to get those feet underneath of you. So do you see in the relation to that platform, my heels are actually underneath my body, and this is gonna feel very, very awkward at first. So from there, all I'm gonna do is just grab these handles. Again, you don't have to, but I like to grab them. It's gonna make you feel like you're sitting back and gonna fall on the floor, but you won't. So, literally, think about this. My feet are hip width, toes slightly out, chest up, head up, and then from there, after I'm standing up, my feet in the right position, I need to think about disengaging the safety. So, here, black handle, shove it back. Now, head back against the pad, glutes and hips press into it, grab the handles, and then literally just squat down and back. So we're here, look how much knee flexion I have there. Bam, that's perfect. I'm gonna go down again, watch this. All the way in the hole. I'm literally sitting. This feels incredible. This right here, I can sit all freaking day long. And you're up, and then with this, most people are gonna say, oh, I'm gonna stop here. No, you wanna get this last bit of quad, because that's like, it feels like a leg extension. So you wanna come almost all the way up. Look, my knees aren't all the way back, so I'm not doing this. I'm stopping just short of that. So I'm keeping all the tension on my quads. So again, think about head back, sit back, get deep in the hole, up, all the way, squeeze those quads. Down deep, up, squeeze those quads, just like that. Disengage the safety, pull that black handle out, squat down, belt off. That's exactly how to execute this Tru Squat. I freaking love it. And what we're gonna do is I'm gonna get Chaz to post the fact that you can fail in this safely. So it means you can just go to the end, you hit the bottom out, and you just simply undo the safety belt, fall on the floor. So you can literally take this set to the end with zero fear of injury, which is another reason why I like this, especially if I'm training alone. Or if I say I'm on a leg press, I'll have to use my hands to push my knees off my chest, and honestly, if I have a lot of load on there, that might not be possible. Or in a hack squat, I get buried on that thing and maybe get pinned in it. So with this, I love it because it has a built-in like safety, so to speak, of it's gonna bottom out, I can undo the belt, flop right out of it. So let's talk about, but Chris, I don't have one of these. What do I do? Easy. We can simply just do a hack squat. Not a big deal. The only difference between this and a hack squat is, look, it's the angle. With this, I'm up and down. With a hack squat, I'm just tilted back a bit. Not a big deal. It's very, very similar. But if you wanted to say replicate this to the T, let me come here in a Smith machine and I'll show you how I'd set it up. If you notice here, I have a wedge. If you don't have a wedge, use 5-pound plates or 10-pound plates, or simply buy one from PrimeUSA.com. They're on there. I have 2 of them. Dwayne has this one at the gym. Place that wedge underneath the Smith machine, and I'm just gonna do a squat. So with this, unrack the bar, we're here, just simply squat down and straight up and down, just like that. I kept the upright posture. With the wedge, it's getting me a lot of knee flexion, and it feels great on my back, on my hips, on my knees. So if you don't have a hack squat, you can easily come up here with a Smith machine. If you don't have a Smith machine, you can do it free bar, with a yoke bar, with a spider bar, with a barbell, with a front squat. Still use the wedge to make your torso really up and down. Last piece here that's gonna simulate the Tru Squat is gonna be a Sissy squat. Now, you can do this with bands, you can do it with dumbbells, you can do high reps at the end of your workout. Again, all we're simulating here is isolating the quads. What I'm thinking about with the Sissy squat is I'm thinking about a preacher curl from my quad. That's it. I wanna isolate the quad and take as much hamstring and glute out of it. So I'm just gonna step into this bad boy. What I wanna think about here is just simply sitting back here, good deep. And then with this, I'm gonna come through and finish. Get that rec fem all the way up to my hip, squeeze. So rec fem runs the tip of my VMO up to my hip. So down, good range of motion, squeeze. Good range of motion, squeeze. There you have it, how to use a Tru Squat. Alternatives to the Tru Squat. Last thing to cover here is where to place it within your workout. So for me, all day long, I want this at the end when my knees are good and warmed up. So you're figuring I'm gonna do a leg curl, an adductor, leg extension, leg press, then I'm gonna come here. Then if I want something to finish afterwards, I might do some walking lunges, some split squats, but this is gonna be the last, like what I would consider quad major builder. And I wanna make sure my knees are good and warmed up, because at the end of the day, even though I do like to see my weights go up with it, I'm kind of using everything else to pre-exhaust, so I don't do quite as much, and I can get the most out of this exercise with the least amount of weight while still being progressive with it. So, as I said at the beginning, I want to get back to 3 1/4 with the newbie and a band. That's the ultimate goal, to kind of match what I did in my late 20s. So, you know, it's one of those things, like, even though as I age, as opposed to like starting out the gate with this after a leg curl, I have to move towards the end of my workout, and there's no reason I can't get back to that same strength, but more intelligently. So, again, if your knees are beat up, I know a lot of people say, oh, Chris, it's gonna be terrible for your knees and going that deep. If you set up your workout sequencing properly, none of that matters. Plus, I'm also doing high reps. I'm never doing a set below 8, and I'm really working more towards like the 12 to 15 range. So again, put just toward the end of your leg day, higher reps. You can do a top set, a back off, you can do a rest pause with it, or you could just do volume. 3 sets of 8, 10, 12, 12, 10, 8, 15, 12, 10, doesn't matter. Pump those quads, get them full, use that Tru Squat, and if you ever see one in the gym you're traveling to, make sure you use it. If you like this video, like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, Chris TV.